Every story Facing Life Head-On does is special in some way. But this one is unique in that we're following a very special family. First, we were there when Sarah and Tony were expecting quads. Yes, 4 babies. And then we were there when the babies were born. And now we're going back for a visit to see what they're up to. And they have a surprise you won't want to miss. Stay with us. Sarah and Tony Stevens discovered they were expecting quadruplets over 3 years ago. Already the parents of daughter Kelly, they were excited about adding to their family. But the happy occasion was marred by fear and sadness when Sarah's doctor advised them to abort some or all of the babies. Sarah and Tony chose to protect and keep all 4 of their children. In summer of 2010, Sarah gave birth to Landon, Jackson, Isabella, and Samantha. It was a tough road for the premature babies, especially Samantha, but they were all finally able to come home from the hospital. It's been 3 years since I sat down with the Stevens family. In that time, the quads have grown into charming boys and girls, and their development and growth continue to outshine the doctor's predictions. But with so many little kids in the house, every day brings its own set of challenges. Sarah, you've described your household as, quote, somewhat organized chaos.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
We have a somewhat of a routine, but for the most part, it's like, I don't know, they're always busy, always doing something, always in each other's way, always pushing, always sharing, always playing. So it's like we're organized, but to everybody else it would be chaos.
What are some of the milestones that you've witnessed your kids reach in the last 3 years?
Well, the crawling and walking were a big thing and it was quicker than I thought, because I was told, so I was looking at 17 months. Jackson walked at 9 months, Isabella walked at 10, and the other 2 walked right at 12. So I wasn't quite ready for them to walk when they started walking. So that was a big milestone for us. And then, of course, when they were younger, Samantha coming off oxygen and them coming home from the NICU, and these are all just huge milestones for me.
I remember some of the doctors telling us when certain kids would be able to do certain things, and some of them maybe not until they're 24 months, or maybe he's not going to be able to walk without leg braces, or just always giving us things that I kind of in the back of my mind questioned, and then watching the kids blow that away. Every negative medical opinion that's been given to us has been blown away, and it's really exciting to watch, God work through that.
What are the biggest challenges that you face?
With 4 personalities, you're always dealing with, somebody's always upset, and somebody's always crying, and somebody's always being mean, and so, just getting them all to, like, even just to sit down and read a book, it's, you have to fight, you have to break up the fights, and you have to make sure it's something that everybody likes.
I think as they get older, it's getting a little bit easier, but it is a little challenging. There's 4 distinct different personalities, so when you go out in public, somebody will get drawn to the flashing lights, and somebody will get drawn to the puppy, and so everybody has different interests, so they all want to tug you in different directions, so it's a little challenging, but like I said, Sarah's done such a good job with them. They're for the most part pretty well behaved, and it's not like bringing a circus out to the world.
How would you rate her skills as a mother on a scale of 1 to 10?
A scale of 1 to 10 is not adequate. I truly believe she's cut out for this. I can't imagine anybody doing a better job. She does an amazing job, and the older they get, and the more that's reflected in their behavior, and you can take them out. I've tried to take them out in public before on my own, thinking I can do this, and it's not a good idea. I mean, they can do it now, but Sarah's kind of their stabilizing force.
How would you rate Tony as a father?
I would give him a 10.
We're on camera.
I would give him a 10. He does a good job with them. He's very helpful, and he you know, he gives me a break. He offers to watch them, and while I go out and shop or go out to lunch with my mom, or he does a really good job, and they love him. They love their daddy.
When we return, we'll hear about the wonderful support Tony and Sarah have received from their family and pediatrician. The journey of raising quadruplets has been no easy task for Sarah and Tony, but they've been blessed to have the support of Sarah's parents, Tom and Sandra Head. Sandra has been there every step of the way, helping with anything from feeding to caring for Samantha when she was on oxygen. No task is too much, and Sandra loves spending time with her grandchildren.
Watching them learn to interact with each other is so fun. They have their own language.
Tell me a little bit about that. I was curious to
Well,
hear that.
we haven't figured it all out yet, but they had names for each other right away. We didn't really know what they were saying. But we finally figured it out, and they communicate with each other in ways that I don't know what they're saying to each other, but they know exactly what they're saying, and the words make no sense to me. So I'm hoping that goes away, because that could be bad.
They could gang up on you, couldn't they?
Yes, they could. But they're a lot of fun to watch. They have a party everywhere they go, and they argue and fight and just like kids do. But they are very close and connected, very protective of each other. So that's fun to watch too.
What are the biggest challenges you face with the kids?
They're always a challenge because right when I start to deal with something else comes up. So the biggest challenge, I think, is just not getting upset, not worrying about it. And I keep telling Sarah, money and sleep are highly overrated, but these relationships, you just can't even put a price tag on it.
Was it harder than you anticipated?
Oh, you have no idea.
I'm sure I don't.
I'm a lot younger than I look. Let's put it that way. Yes, I felt like I aged overnight. It's been very hard, but it's been the best thing I ever did.
Sarah's entire family has pitched in to help care for the kids, including her brother and sister, Eric and Devin. Both siblings are recently married, and even their new spouses, Michelle and Tyler, have joined in on the fun.
Whenever we go anywhere, we always have like an assigned baby, because if you go somewhere, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch for them by themselves. So she'll assign us to one just to kind of keep an eye on it. And we got special relationships with each one of them. It's different, and it's just fun.
They love us. I mean, when we come in the room, they're all like, Devin, Iki.
Yeah, that's right. They call me Iki. Actually, just recently they started calling me Eric. It was kind of depressing, but they still call me both. But
Yeah, so we help out as much as we can. We watch them whenever she needs us to, and they're welcome to my house, and they come over to his house, and they get into everything.
Now, has Tyler and Michelle been pulled into the system yet?
oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And how are they reacting to all this?
Oh yeah, they love it too. Both of them are great. Yeah, they both love them and help out a lot.
So they passed the test then to be
Yes.
a member of the family?
Yeah.
Tell me about your relationship with each of the quads.
Yeah, Samantha, when I lived at home, in the summer, because I'm off during the summer since I teach, around 8 in the morning, every morning, she would bust open my door and jump on top of me and demand that I paint her nails. Every day, she got a mani and a pedi.
She calls them
So-
sparkles.
Yeah, she sparkles. And I hear she's been trying to get her nails done, and I'm not there, so it makes me sad. But she's very personable. She's always wanting to be with someone. And Isabella, she's very busy. She's always into everything. She's sneaky though, so you don't know. She's quiet, so you think she's good, but she's really taking your DVDs apart or, doing something. And Jackson, he's just a lot of fun. I mean, anytime you want to go, he's ready to go. And Landon, he likes to play more by himself, and but he loves being around us. He wants to be with us. So.
What do you enjoy most about being part of this family?
It's really exciting. There's always stuff happening.
Never a dull moment?
We're all just really, really close, and that's awesome to be like friends with my mom and my sister, and I can, we all get together, we hang out, just as friends, and that's really awesome. And the babies, they just think they're one of us. They jump right in. They belong here, and they know that. So it's just neat to be really close, and more the merrier.
Dr. Daniel Friedberg has been practicing medicine for the past 46 years and just recently retired. His last years of practice include caring for the Stevens quads. It was extra special for Dr. Friedberg since he was also the pediatrician for Sandra and Sarah. He first treated the quads when they were 1 week old and saw them regularly for the past 3 years. He was always happy and surprised by the progress they were making.
They were very healthy babies. It's amazing. I mean, for quads, they had minimal problems either in the intensive care unit where they were first, and even after they got out, they had about the same typical medical issues that other babies, full-term babies, have. In today's care of small babies, premature babies, we are light years advanced over only what was going on 25 or 30 years ago. When I first came into practice, these babies would have had a much harder time, in all likelihood. But the care has improved dramatically, and the outcomes. Even small babies, 1 pound, can survive.
Doctor, tell me about some of the milestones the kids have reached, Landon, Isabella, Samantha, and Jackson.
As a rule, in general, their development was slightly behind a full-term baby. Now, they weren't all equal. The boys were a little bit slower than the girls in all of the motor skill acquisitions, rolling over, sitting up, crawling, standing. But the boys weren't that far behind. And so the babies developed, I would say, unexpectedly normally. Slightly behind because of their prematurity.
Dr. Friedberg, tell me about the typical office visit that you'd have with these kids.
The scenario of the office visit was really quite unique. Here comes these 4 babies with mom and always grandma along. Here come I with my team, all crammed into one little examining room. And it was a team approach from both ends, and a lot of fun. It took us a good hour to 2 hours to run through an ordinary office visit, and that's when the kids were coming in for well visits. Of course, if they came in for sick visits, it was even a different story. It was really quite a unique experience to have those 4 kids come in together.
What concerns do you have as they continue to grow and get older?
I don't really think that they will have any concerns. They have some advantages that other families might not have. They've got each other, but they've got this fabulous link to one another that will never go away. I think that their prognosis is excellent.
In a moment, Sarah and Tony have a surprise announcement. With Landon, Jackson, Isabella, Samantha, and big sister Kelly, life is never boring in the Stevens household. And things got even more exciting when shocking news was delivered to Sarah and Tony 2 years after the quads were born. They discovered Sarah was pregnant with her 6th child. She gave birth to baby Mark in February of 2013, and the quads love being big brothers and sisters to the new member of the Stevens clan.
I was shocked and I was scared and I was so many different emotions because I was told I couldn't have kids. I had to have help. So he was a shock.
It was definitely a complete surprise and kind of, can we handle this? That wasn't supposed to happen. I was excited at the same time. It was joyful, but it was shocking.
He's the best baby. And God just knew we couldn't handle anything else. But he's good, he's easygoing, and he's just perfect addition, just what we needed. He's really brought us all together even more because the kids are all so protective of him and they love him and they're learning how to be gentle and to, it's good for them, I think. It's good for them not to be the babies in the center of attention anymore. So it's helping in ways that we didn't even realize we needed.
Every day brings new challenges for the Stevens family, and few things are more challenging than taking the whole family out. When the kids were younger, they'd get many stares and questions while out in public, and Sandra was happy to use the opportunity to share the quad story.
Changed a little bit. When we first went out when they were young, we couldn't move. They would stop us, and it was hard. It was frustrating because we had a really short window before it was time to feed again, before it was time to change, before somebody would cry. It was frustrating. So I made up little postcards, and they had a really pretty picture of the babies on the front, and then it had their story on the back, and it had your website and everything like that. So I thought, here, this will tell you everything you want to know, thank you. And I was nice, and it really enabled us to keep moving. It's not as bad now, but we always get questions. We always get, are they twins? Are they two sets of twins? Are they triplets? Most people don't know what quadruplets are, so they have to sit there and think about it. And then they ask us, now how many is that? And sometimes people will just say, are you crazy? And some people get mad. They think it's ridiculous, and they'll make rude comments.
How do you handle those?
Most of the time, I'll say something back if I have the opportunity. It's interesting how when I do get an opportunity to talk to somebody like that, as we talk, the tone of the conversation will change a lot of times. I just think they have not been educated, or they have been educated just in the wrong way. Because you can't put value on life. You can't put value on the personalities and how different they are and how they've made a difference in this world. And they're just 3 years old.
As the kids get older, what are you looking forward to the most?
I cannot wait when they start telling their own story. Think how powerful that's going to be. I mean, it's one thing for grandma to say, yay, choose life, but it's a different thing for them to step forward and say, we were told, the doctor said that we should be aborted. And my mom and my dad chose the hard road and risked everything, really. I can't wait to hear that story. I can't wait to see the impact that it has on people.
Coming up, we'll hear the family's hopes for the children's future. Having 6 children, 6 and under, can bring lots of chaos and challenges. But the Stevens know they're blessed to have such a big, wonderful family and enjoy all the fun that quads bring. But none of this would have happened if Sarah and Tony had followed the advice of that first doctor to abort some or all of their children, and they can't imagine their lives without them. What advice would you give to parents or family members of multiples?
To hold on. It gets better. Not so much easier, but it gets better. Multiples are fun, and not everybody's advice is right, and that it's a blessing, and it's not something you'll ever want to change.
It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's the best thing you'll ever do, and that's pretty true. It's really hard, but it's worth it.
Don't be afraid to get help and get support. You got to work through each day. Each day is different, and just work it out. And
it just shows how important family is. I mean,
right.
If family is very important, and not just your family, but fellow believers family. I mean, there's been so many people that have helped them out that we didn't even know, but it was a big help.
How has your opinion about Sarah as a mom evolved through all of this?
Well, there's a lot more to Sarah than I ever knew. And, I always thought of her as so fragile. She's tougher than I'll ever be. And she's very giving and patient, and she's custom made for the job. God knew. I don't know that anybody else could handle it as well as she has. I'm very, very proud of her and Tony both.
Can you imagine life without the kids?
I really can't. It's a privilege. I just think that they are going to, just their existence is changing the world, and it's a privilege to be a part of it.
It is life more abundantly. So on the roller coaster of life, the hills are a lot higher. The joyous moments are very joyous. I remember when the quads were still in the NICU and Samantha was really struggling and Isabella was sick. It was really difficult for me. It was really an emotional time, and but that time has passed, and now, you know, the joys that I get from, you know, playing with the kids and listening to the funny things that they say and watching some of the funny things that they do and just interacting with all my kids, it's just an amazing blessing.
Nobody goes into a pregnancy expecting 4 babies. But Tony and Sarah were true to their beliefs and were enormously blessed by it. The whole family was. But there's lots of pressure by the medical community to take things into their own hands when God already knows what He's doing. May the Stevens family be a constant reminder to all of us to first protect human life. Thanks for watching. Sarah and Tony Stevens have many busy years ahead of them taking care of 6 kids. These precious early years will continue to fly by, so they're trying to capture the moments on film. I'd like to offer you a chance to receive this digital camera free so that, like the Stevens, you too can document the joys and miracles in your life. Simply visit our website at facinglife.tv and enter to receive this beautiful and practical gift. While there, find out how you can get a copy of today's episode on DVD to share with others.